What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here, and I think it's time we had an honest conversation about what supply and demand is with regards to sports cards. I was actually inspired to do this. Two things. One, I did a video talking about comps, and I was kind of sporadic, kind of shooting all over the place. But then it generated a lot of conversation and some views, and I'm doing this just for the views. I'm just kidding. I'm doing it because it's a wide range, and people that try to simplify prices and costs and what your cards are worth versus mine and comps, it not over dramatizes, but it tries to simplify something that is not that simple. But I want to narrow in. So I'm not talking about all sales of something. I'm talking about why some cards are worth more versus other cards that aren't. And this isn't new to anything in the world. This is how the world's always worked since they were bartering, since little islands would barter with, rare seashells, which is actually a thing. It was one of the best economies you had until people came over and started like overproducing them. It's called inflation. But with this, it's called supply and demand. And to simplify that in card terms, supply is how many of those cards exist, whether it's just a raw amount of cards or cards that are graded to a certain level. So, for instance, a supply of, Prism rookie cards. There's, tens of thousands that we know of per player of base rookie cards. Now, once you start narrowing it in, when you start talking about, it's a PSA 7 or better, 8, 9, and then PSA 10, or, like I said, SGC, if you're like me and you fave SGC, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whenever you are narrowing it in, it makes it more rare. So, for instance, a great indicator of this would be like the Jerry Rice Topps rookie. And so one with the green border. There have been, I think it's the most graded, the 89 Upper Deck Griffey. Either one of those would work for this. Whenever you have a card that has that many, because they overproduce both of those. There are, so many of those cards that were produced. And so you can buy Jerry Rice rookie, $40, easy, all day. Little less, little more, whatever. Then you can buy King Griffey. I think that King Griffey Jr. goes for around $50, if I remember right. Raw, you can get it pretty cheap. But the PSA 10 of it is going, several $1,000s because it is harder to get a Gem 10 of it. And, there are more of those than Zion Williamson Prism rookies. But the Zion Williamson PSA 10 you can get for $50 probably. Because the same as the Raw, because with the Raw of the older ones, even though there's more, there's a chance of it tinning, which would increase it. So it's like there's that back end. It's why like certain drops you have with regards to like wax, that the high end chase in it stretches out the value. So like the 2009 Curry Topps, like we haven't found the superfractor yet. I say we, you and me, we're gonna find it together. It's not been found. So those boxes are high because there's a chance of that card being in there. That, even though it's only one card, it stretches that price closer, okay? So the more you have of something, that is a supply, more or less that you have. That's how many there are. The demand is what's going to drive the value of all of that, whether it's a raw card or a graded card. The demand is essentially the hype. That is the hype of the card. How many people want it? For instance, if you had, 500, if there were 500, no, sorry. If there were 500 Luka rookie PSA 10s, silver PSA 10s, 500 of those, and 20 people wanted them, they're not going to have that big a value. The value will come down because there's less people either bidding on it or offering a certain amount of money for it. The interest is not there. Now, if you had 500 silver Luka rookies and 10,000 people wanted them, you're sitting on a gold mine. Like it's sitting there and it's going to increase because you're stretching it further because more people are bidding and going against it. And what I was trying to get across in my comps video was whenever we look at comps, like the last sale of something is not the current sale. And that's what we got to keep in mind. Whenever you are selling something, and if this is what I'm just going to throw this out there. This is Tyler's pitch. And let me know what you guys think if there's a better way to do it. I think that the best value, yes, take into consideration previous sales. I like bids more than buy it nows. Buy it nows are like, I wanted it now. I needed this, whatever. I think bids is a better indicator, but also that's even flawed because that goes on for like what, a week on one platform? So like, what are the chances that, there's 20 other people that wanted it, they just didn't get on the internet that week and search it, or they didn't see their favorites. So they might have missed it. There are cards that went super cheap. I wanted them. I would have paid 10 times that amount. I just didn't see the listing, and it went, and it looks like it's valued at $5. I would have paid 50. So that's not a great indicator. Whenever you are looking at buying a card, especially rare, honestly for any card, but especially for rare cards, the best price is the best price you can get right now. So if I wanted to, I'll give you the reason I thought of this supply and demand. I literally wrote supply and demand on this post-it. If you're watching on the YouTubes versus the Apple or the Spotify, this is a Craig Biggio Topps Chrome Refractor. It is from, I think, 2001. Yeah, 2001 Craig Biggio Topps Chrome Refractor. When I was looking at pricing it, I was going to sell it in my booth at first, and I was looking at pricing it, and there was no sales I could find. There were none listed. It is non-existent. This card did not exist. If someone wanted to go out and buy it right now, they could not, unless they happened upon it at a show or somewhere else. Now, I looked at the other ones. I was like, well, what should I price it at? I put $33 because that's what other similar players had sold for recently. Granted, I'm now I'm taking steps. It's like a connect the dots. I'm steps further away from an accurate sale because I'm using, it's close because it's a different player, but it's still a different player. What's the market? Are people trying to collect the set? Like I'm getting further away from the accuracy, but I'm trying to get as close as possible. I'm like a little electron circling that nucleus, and I feel like you're getting further and further away whenever you take those steps, even if they might be educated steps. And so I put $33 on it, and it sat over here in my box, and I was going to take it, and I ended up not taking it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick it on eBay and put it a buy it now, and I'll take some best offers and see what the market says. And so I had a 33 sticker, and usually I just put whatever the sticker is, but I was like, when I did a search again for a more recent one, I was like, if someone wants this, they can't find it anywhere else. I will be the only listing on the largest platform you can buy sports cards. So I thought, you know what? I'll toss it at $55. Maybe there's a Astros fan or a Biggio collector that doesn't have this for the collection. I know I'd pay that for a little Ronnie Gant or a Brett Butler, baseball guys that I collect. So whenever I listed it, I put it at $55, but then I put best offer at $33. So I would have, 33. I'm like, oh, cool. That's exactly what I would have made if I'd have sold it at my, flea market booth. And by the next morning, I had an offer for $45. It had the $33 sticker on it still, but it had $45. And I was like, that's $12 more than I wanted to sell originally. Should I try to push them up to $55? I'm like, is it worth $12 to? I was like, I'll just take it. Boom, sold it. I'm about to ship this thing out. This person got this card. It made me remember the last comp. Yes, while it might be a factor, that is not the new sale. The old sale is not the new sale. And I heard somebody say, I think somebody said in the comments, I don't know, they probably said it a lot more clever than me, but the best price, if you're looking at listing your cards and you're, bids starting at $1, go for it. You might do great. You're taking a little risk, but you'll see what it's worth within that week. You're not seeing what it's worth. So don't say that. You're seeing what it's worth on that platform in that week. You're hoping at least 2 people that really want it see it. That's what you're hoping. So that's the risk you take. That's best if it's a popular player, a really sought after card, or maybe that person's hype. Like I thought about listing, I got a Brandon Pajemski. It's a out of 10 Origins RPA. And I thought about listing that. Started at $1. He's doing well. He had a good game last night. I figured people would be searching him. That's not a bad idea based on my experience. I might list on buy now and just take best offers. I think that if you're wanting to see what it's like and not try to do it in a 1-week time frame, I think your best option, if you're willing to wait, if you can save, if you don't have to sell it to, pay rent or feed your kids, put a best offer, buy now best offer for the best price someone can buy it. So if this Biggio card was listed at $55, I would have gone and listed it for $50 or, $51, $49. I would have listed it less than the person trying to sell the other one. Then mine becomes the best option someone can have based on the demand. Now, if it doesn't sell, the demand's not there for that level, but the supply is now too. Mine's the best option somebody can get. Now, granted, they can look at it in all the corners. Actually, this looks pretty clean. I don't know why I didn't grade this. Oh, the back. The back's got a little bit on it, but it's not bad for a 20-year-old card. Supply and demand. Look, what I would encourage you is if you're going to list a card, especially more rare cards, but even like it's a Victor, PSA 10, base Donruss, if I would recommend going and looking at what someone, instead of, yes, you can look at the old comps. That's, oh, okay, cool. That's what it's selling for. But the more important number, what can someone go buy it for right now? And then if you make yours a little less than that, you are now the best option for anyone wanting that card right now. And that is the best way to price it. So if you're sitting at a table and you're a dealer and you're trying to sell at a show, when you're pricing stuff or when you're haggling or talking to people, comps, that's all opinion. Like, the last sale was this. Would you take it for this? They're pitching you a number based on what they think they would pay for it. It's not right or wrong. You now have the choice. Is it worth that much to sell to me? You're taking into consideration what you bought it for, what you think it'll go for in the future. Like, you're taking a lot into consideration. There's no right or wrong there as long as we all remain civil and cordial. We're all nice. We're all handshaking and eye contacting, That's fine. But I think the hard consideration for me, if I'm at a table as a buyer or as a seller, and I have a card, let's do it as a buyer. If I'm at a table and I want to buy a card and you have a price on it and I'm like, ooh, and I look on eBay and I can go on and buy it right now, plus tax, plus shipping, and get it $5 to $10 cheaper than what you have it listed and you're willing to sell it for, there's zero chance I'm going to buy your card because I can get it cheaper somewhere else. It's just like walking up to the table and being like, what are you selling this card for? Oh, it's a PSA 9 Jordan Hot Numbers. I'm selling it for $1,000. Okay. And I walk to the table across from me and they're selling a PSA 9 Jordan Hot Numbers. They look very similar, almost the exact same. And they're selling it for $800. Why would I buy it from you? Because you smile better? No. Like, I'm going to save $200 and buy it over here. Unless I'm buying in bulk, I'm getting a bunch. Like, there's always don't be like, well, you can do this. No joke. Okay. I'm just telling you my opinion on the only hard number in comps is what someone can buy it for right now, anywhere. That is the only hard number when it comes to comps of a card. If someone can buy that card, a comparable version of that card, cheaper somewhere else immediately, your price, I think, is too high. That is my opinion. Now, does that mean you have to sell it for less? Absolutely not. They're your cards. I have cards listed personally on eBay higher than other people's buy it nows. I know they're higher. It's mostly like players that I like or cards that I think will go up in the future. And I'm putting my buy it nows there and I'm just waiting. I'm the hare and I've ran ahead and I'm waiting on tortoise, aka the market, to catch up to me. That's what's happening. I think it'll go higher, or I don't really want to sell it. I'm just trying to tell my wife, hey, look, I've got it listed. Hopefully it sells, Maybe that's the case sometimes. So I would love to know your thoughts. What do you think? Are there any hard numbers when it comes to comps besides what I mentioned? I can buy it somewhere right now for less price. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This is a great conversation. I love having this convo, and I think it's an important convo. We need to have these conversations out loud, even though money can be uncomfortable. Money can be something that not everybody enjoys talking about. I think it's an important convo to have. And I would love to have y'all's opinions, and maybe I'll change it because I'm not dead set on that. It's just what I think right now. So let me know what you think. And I know there are variations of situations, but let me know in the comments. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want, it super helps if you, go and rate us on Apple or Spotify or YouTube. If you want to like, subscribe, no pressure. Follow your heart. That's what Kevin Hart told us to do, so that's what I do. Thank you guys so much. Y'all be good, stay sweet, and never stop collecting. Sports cards are dope. So are you. So are you, my God. Kind of always break down there at the end. Y'all be good. Later. Hey, go buy my overpriced Brandon Pajemski card. Later. Bye.